years-long wait, the FNAF chapter is finally here for all to enjoy, or to begrudgingly wait in a longer queue to play the main. So it's time to start this night shift and see if this wait was worth it. Before we go into the main event, what's the map like? Well, personally, I would have preferred Freddy's to be a bigger location, as without Springtrap, there's no security office. So what I personally would have done is either made the arcade smaller, or just remove it entirely and give the map a permanent security office, or move it downside a bit, remove the killer shack, and use that to extend Freddy's slightly and give the map a permanent security office that way. But that's the only real negative thing I have to say about this map, as other than that, I love everything else about it. Yeah, the killer shack loop is annoying, but that's common with that building, so it's not exactly fair, personally, to knock the rest of the map down for that small section that's out of the way in the corner. I believe I said this when this map was first shown off, but man, I love the fact that 3 Bone Chica are here. Despite what complaints, nitpickfully, I would say in this video, this chapter an update really does feel like that Christmas came early. I think you could tell in the background footage how surreal I felt seeing the 3 do this short animation after the data was fixed. Honestly, the only other way this update and chapter could feel more like FNAF and DBD is if the Singularity was here and had all his cameras everywhere to do a full-on role reversal of FNAF's signature set in the Survive gameplay. But now on to the main event, Springtrap. Gameplay-wise, I'm surprised that he's a bit of a range killer, as he can throw his fire axe in a similar pattern to how the hunters can throw hatchets. However, the key difference is the latter is made for that purpose and can travel further. Meanwhile, the fire axe drops like a sack of bricks when thrown, and it's more of a short to mid-range attack, and it even feels like it takes more time for Springtrap to put out his fire axe than it does for hunters to take out her hatchet. You can still get a few tricks with it, but you can't fully rely on hunters' muscle memory to use the fire axe correctly. The axe also has a function of it whenever it lands on anything that isn't a survivor or security door, an area ability activates. And if a survivor walks into it, you gain killer instinct, so you can get the rough idea of where a survivor is through obstacles. But the fun part comes when you hit a survivor with it, as if you hit a heavy survivor with the axe, it'll get stuck in their back, and Springtrap can jumpscare them if it catches them and just presses the attack button, jumpscaring them, and instantly pick them up. Or somebody just down the survivor if they're injured, but that's only half of its power. The other half comes from the security doors. We were totally overthinking their use, as they are teleporters for everyone to use. We have the security cameras to try and spot Springtrap to reveal them, as when Springtrap uses the doors, he gains a stealth effect temporarily that hides his red stain and air radius. Yeah, a giant body with glowing eyes, as in actually stealthy, but there are plenty of corners to hide behind, and this is extremely effective to catch survivors' friction generators off guard. I noticed as it worked extremely well on me, as yes, Springtrap does have a loud walking sound, but the friction detonators and detonators themselves make enough noise to counter out and muffle Springtrap's walking sound. So there has been plenty of times where I just look one way and then turn around and see Springtrap just behind me. That's not on the doors for survivors, as you have to be careful using them, as when using the cameras it'll drain the battery, and the battery drains insanely quickly, and if the battery is fully drained, it'll take a while for the batteries to recharge, and when they're recharging, survivors can't use the door's cameras or use the door to teleport. But Springtrap doesn't need to worry about the battery, as he can teleport through them regardless. And sadly, there's a bit of a bug happening with the security doors for survivors, as for them, if you walk through the doors to teleport, the audio gets messed up and directions kind of become vague. Well, it doesn't become impossible to play, but on headphones, for example, what would be only a dual audio setup becomes mono, and directions become, as I said, really vague, so it's hard to tell how far or how close something is purely by sound. But thinking about it, this bug oddly resembles like what happens when you get jump scared by a phantom, where the audio gets messed up. Completely unintentional, and I hope it gets fixed, but it's so funny how it still kind of works in a FNAF type way. Onto Springtrap's design, and for the most part it's a great translation, but he's missing the second colour on the ears and on the chest from the original design, alongside missing the bottom too. Nitpicks, yeah, but it's really odd not to have those, especially when the yellow rabbit skin has a second colour on the chest, when the default look doesn't. I'm also heavy on the body on the inside of Springtrap. Say what you will about the original and even the button trap one, but at least there you can definitely tell Purple Guy is dead, and the weird meaty bits are just the remaining organic stuff that leaked through these endoskeletton crossing his body like a full body bear trap. But with the DVD design, just looks like a mummified body inside a suit, as outside of the feet and hands missing, the body has zero damage outside of said mummification happening. Finally, he doesn't have his proper jumpscare sound, and just roars at the survivor when he jumpscares him. I can kind of understand them not wanting to just flat use it, but personally, I think using that and mixing it with the roar would have been icing on the cake for the jump scare animation. I do want to make this clear. Even with all that, I still loved how they translated Springtrap and FNAF as a whole into DVD. Just those things would have made this perfect in my opinion. Lastly, skins in the future. I do like the skins they have on offer, though personally I do wish that the yellow rabbit came with the mask too to complete the look, but who knows, maybe they'll add it for Halloween, or maybe they're saving it to release a version with the skin with the mask for when the FNAF 2 movie drops. This goes for other skins, as I am surprised an on-river skin isn't available for Springtrap, but they could be saving it for later, as I said, like the other yellow rabbit from Into the Pit. Now, this feels like a shoo-in, especially since that game and book is clearly referenced with the ball pit in the map, and also, same line of thinking goes for Foxy, as despite having a plushie and hanging around Freddy's, he's noticeably absent, though he could be in that box inside the cove. Maybe a version of Foxy could be a future skin for that fast bite, but only time will tell. With that, we're at the end of this video. Overall, I do think this chapter was worth the years of waiting and years long hype from it was revealed to be happening last August. Well, personally, there are a few nitpicks I have with it, as I stated, but the Dead by Daylight team did a fantastic job with this crossover. What do you think of the FNAF DVD crossover? Have you started playing DVD because of it, or simply just enjoying the bulk BP spending to level up your characters faster? And in any event, thank you for watching.